Hello everybody, it's Jeanette Vilda. Today I'm sharing a junk journal made using the Marry Me Juliet collection by Luise Heinzl. This has got to be the brightest, most colorful journal I think I have made yet, and I loved it. So it's got a very boho feel, the papers that she's created. You could kind of go like 70s with it, with the way that she's made the papers. Really just gorgeous, but also the very romantic. So the images that are in it are just so pretty. I've made it's a chipboard album, so I made the album, and then it's covered with some fabric, and then each of the signatures were sewn together, and then I have bound them into the album using some sari silk ribbon. So you can see they're just tied in using the sari silk, and I love doing that. And then so there's 4 signatures, so it's kind of chunky, but loved it. It was so much fun making this. Here on the front, I used a lot of papers that I hand dyed, so mostly Kool-Aid dyed papers. Also a whole lot of book pages. And then on this page, on the cover here, what I did was I took a book page and then a napkin and decoupaged the napkin onto the paper. Put some stamps on, and this is one of the pictures from the ephemera. And here on this, I had stamped a little square and then took some kind of iridescent paint and just painted it in so that it kind of allows you to have a label. So you can label the front of the journal. So going inside. Also I used some Edith Holden pages, so there's quite a bit of Edith Holden, and also I have some really great botanical books from here in Germany that I've used in here as well. So here on the front cover, it's a little flip up, and it was a book page, so I just put some of my scraps in there so that there's room for journaling, and one of the ephemera pieces. Here on the inside of the cover, and then behind the signatures and on the back, this is paper that I made using just some spray colors, spray ink. And what I did was took 2 pages, so one I sprayed, and so it was really, really saturated. And then took another piece of paper and smooshed it down on top of it. And that's what got me this really neat effect. And I thought it just looked perfect with all the papers. This is one of the design papers, so you can see it's just gorgeous. So many colors, and so it gave me a great way of using up that paper. Also, so this is some of my Kool-Aid dyed paper, and then an Edith Holden page. So I did quite a lot of sewing in this one. I do enjoy doing that. I'm a lousy sewer with anything but paper. Also decided, one thing about whenever I do something for Luise Heinzl, it's like I want to try something new. And so I had seen these Franken pages, right, that I believe Nick the Booksmith does. I don't know if she's the starter of it, but I got the idea from her. And so I made some Franken pages, so you can see there's some of the paper that I've colored. There's also some music paper, book paper, and paper from this collection all throughout there. And I just made a A4 sheet, put it all together, and then I used pieces of it throughout the book. So that was a lot of fun. And this one I made into a pocket here on the back of this design page. So I printed them all front and back. And then it's one of the, I don't know if that's a poem, Shakespeare. Oh, there's a number of different quotes. And that was in the Edith Holden book. And I just backed it onto some of my hand-dyed papers. Edith Holden. I just love it. This is actually, so I have a couple of books from 18 something or other, and I thought it went perfect with this theme of the Juliet love couples, Marry Me. And I actually, so this is not, but there, throughout here there is, I have a book of Romeo and Juliet, the music book for Romeo and Juliet from 1830 something. And so I definitely had to use that in here. This is Rachmaninoff, but definitely had to use some of that Romeo and Juliet in there. And here is one of the ephemera pieces. She made a nice little banner, and I just copied the banner to make a little tuck spot for a tag using one of the tags from the kit, and then just layered it on some of my dyed paper. I did a lot of random sewing. I just had a lot of fun with the sewing. And here is one of the pockets from the kit and one of the journal cards. And again, I just backed it with some of my dyed paper. I didn't do a thing to any of these pages. Sometimes I put a pocket or something on some of these really gorgeous, what is that? That's like swirly. We'll just call it swirly pages. I just couldn't. They're just so gorgeous. And so you can see here, you can see that I always sew my signatures together so that the pages don't slip. This allows you, though, to take out the signature, take it with you, use it someplace else, and then slide it back in. And it also allows you to adjust and move it around so that they lie a lot flatter, and I like that. And then here we have a couple of pockets. So there's a pocket here and a pocket here. And what this is, I took a piece of book page, and then I had a stencil. And the stencil, I just used a pen and just outlined the stencil, and then used the same iridescent paints to paint in the image. Isn't that gorgeous? Like I said, how could you? I just love it. Love it, love it. Some more music paper. I think that's the other side of the other one, so that's still Rachmaninoff. And just some paper. I just let my sewing machine make some pretties on it. And then here, this is an envelope, and it's completely envelope, but as you can see, what I did was made this part of the envelope a pull-out. And it's simple to do. When the envelope's together, just cut off and leave enough there. I've got it covered, but enough here so that you can attach a piece of paper to it. You need to narrow it just a little bit so that it comes in and out of your envelope easily. And you've got a nice little piece to come tuck into your envelope, but there's still room here to add more. And again, I just use some of the ephemera pieces to make that magnetic so that it will hold in nicely. Had a lot of fun sewing. My sewing machine makes it easy, because otherwise it wouldn't happen. This, I believe, is that might be the Romeo and Juliet. Might still be some more Rachmaninoff. Here's another piece of the Franken pages, and I just added a little piece of sari silk behind this little dragon from the ephemera set, and then one of the great swirly pages on some Kool-Aid paper with another piece from the ephemera. Yep, that's not room. Well, maybe. Nope, it's not. but I liked the promenade. And here's another pocket. And I took one of the tags and just backed it with some of the Kool-Aid dyed paper. And here, this is just a piece of fabric. Took one of the design papers and used it to make a backing for it. You do have 2 pockets here, so you can have a tag in here as well. And one of the tags back on some paper. And then this is a letter that I bought at one point a whole bunch of different envelopes, and this letter was inside of one of the envelopes. And it's nearly impossible to read, not only because it's German, but because this person has a really hard handwriting. So my husband was not able to translate it either. But it's from the 15th of November of 1940. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like to think of it as a love letter. And so this is Juliet's love letter. It's probably, a list of groceries, but we'll pretend it's not. That paper, just gorgeous. It's like swirly smoke. Now this is the Romeo and Juliet, if I remember correctly. Don't ask. I don't know. And here's another image from one of my older books. This is one of the ephemera pieces. It has these really great, you can use this in all kinds of ways. Here I've used it as a pocket for another of the tags. Isn't that great? And then here's a little envelope, opens out, and in here I've got one of the ephemera cards, journal cards, and I just added another of the pockets from the kit onto the envelope for one of the tags. And here's another corner piece on the Romeo and Juliet music. And then random book page, but I thought it was neat. So again, here I stamped the square again, and here I've used wax crayons. But it makes a nice base, and you can write right over the top of it. And then this was some of my leftover Franken page, so makes a nice little tag. I love to use my scraps. Another one of those little pockets for one of the tags. I love all the orange. I just don't use enough orange. So here, another, using up my scraps. So some of the Kool-Aid paper. And then here's a little fold out. And a pocket. And then here's just some book pages made into a couple of pockets for one of the tags. And another random book page with one of the beautiful roses on the ephemera pages. Oops. Just blank. This is another, I think this is from that same person, but it was a different letter. You can see this is from July 20th of 1940. And again, I just like the idea that it's a love letter. Probably another grocery list. Let's pretend. Because, I mean, that is just, my husband tried, really tried, but just could not read the handwriting. And the Edith Holder page for one of the pockets from the kit, and another of the quotes for a tag. And here again, same thing. Took a piece of book page, stenciled on the flower, and then painted it in using my iridescent paint so it's nice and shiny. And I sewed that onto one of the pieces of the swirly pages and onto this gorgeous deco page and another of my Franken pages. This is definitely Romeo and Juliet. I can tell because of the size. It's small. Oh, another pocket. I don't have anything in that one. The other side of the letter, the love letter. We're going with that. And the last page. Just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And then here, this was also in the ephemera kit, and as well as this. And so this one I just backed on some music page and made that like a little belly band. And here you can see the page that I made using the spray paints. And that is the book. And thank you, Mother. She sent me this gorgeous fabric just in time to make this book. So it was perfect timing. So I hope you enjoyed that. Definitely go take a look at the Marry Me Juliet collection. There's a whole bunch. I mean, it's a nice big collection. There's also just the Juliet, which is all those wonderful swirly pages. Those are gorgeous. And they can be used, like I said, it would make a really great like 70s book. So, hope you enjoyed. If you have questions, leave them down below, comments, and please like and subscribe, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.